Imagine I am about to tell you a story. It is going to be the greatest story that you have ever heard. At times, your eyes will so shut with fear. You will weep not only from sadness, but from joy. The characters will become your best friends. The villains, your worst enemies. This story has the potential to change your entire life. Now imagine, as I'm telling you this story, off to the side of your vision, there's a fat man in a Sonic t-shirt making love to a cactus. Loudly. Passionately.
You're starting to see pictures, ain't you?
Putting aside hyperbolic hypotheticals, the point I'm trying to hit on here is that setting matters. And I don't just mean why you shouldn't set your sex comedy in, I don't know, Unit 731.
Holy shit, dude.
Though I would be very curious to see that film. No, what I mean by setting is, how do you set the table for yourself? Do you expect that the book or the movie or the video game, do you expect it to be so enthralling that it will drown out any distraction? Now, stories like that exist, to be sure. For example, every one that I've ever written, and maybe Mass Effect. I could play those games in a heavy metal mosh pit and I'd still be enthralled. But more often than not, a good story can't compete with even a minor distraction, especially today when our brains have become so addicted to constant stimulation. Hell, I can prove it. Did you know that over half of the people who started watching this video have now stopped? And the only reason is because of their short attention spans? Only reason. Not another one. So what sparked this thought for me was the Blair Witch Project. The first time I saw that movie, I was 11 years old, and I was watching it with my grandmother in broad daylight. I think it was like noon. We laughed our asses off. You know, the big climax with the guy in the corner, we just thought he was taking a piss. And for the rest of my life, I held the opinion that the Blair Witch Project was super overrated, kind of funny, and not scary at all. Then I watched it again, by myself, middle of the night. And it was a very different experience. You know, I can't say that I came away loving the film, but it was scary when I gave it the chance to be. This got me thinking, what other stories have I Tanya Harding'd prematurely?
It's for the best.
Hey, please! You know, how many times have I been watching a horror film and it's broad daylight, or I'm checking my phone because I'm stressed about something that day, or I'm sitting next to a friend who doesn't know when to shut the fuck up.
You shut the fuck up!
It's not just scary stories, you know? Like, maybe the reason that Basketball, the greatest comedy ever made, maybe the reason that movie bombed is because everybody who saw it on the day they had to put their dog down. Maybe The Troop would have grabbed you more if you weren't pulled out of every other sentence by the little kid kicking the back of your seat and whatever commotion was going on in the aisle with Billy Idol in the drink cart.
How you doing, sir? Chicken or fish?
Now, obviously, some things are out of your control. You know, maybe at 18 you found a story boring, but now that you're 40, its themes relate to you. Maybe Showgirls was a poorly acted melodrama when you were 20 and trying to impress the feminist girl in your acting class. And now you're older and you can appreciate the movie for its other qualities. That's just timing. You can't fight that.
Must be weird not having anybody come on you.
My advice, the next time you consume a story, as much as you can, set the mood. You know, when it comes to storytelling, we could all use a little more foreplay. So go ahead, dim the lights. Pour yourself another glass of wine. If you can, plan ahead, so that you have the entire day to anticipate. And if you're inviting others, well, just make sure everyone's participating on the same field. It won't miraculously turn a 5 into a 10, but it might just make it a 6. And as my dad told me from a very young age, son, there's nothing wrong with a solid 6.